Welcome back to I Bought Toys Today, the best show on the internet where two old friends sit around and talk about the best part of the toy collecting hobby, telling each other what we bought. I'm John,
I'm Cohan.
and internet, I've got a lot of good news for you today because we bought a lot of toys,
We have bought a lot of toys.
and we're going to talk about all of them.
Yep. Sorry about your luck.
Pause this, go put on your comfy pants, and come back to where you were sitting. Because
Like
today it's the lightning round, where instead of waxing poetic at length about reasons for buying all these fantastic pieces of plastic, we're going to try to keep things moving because we counted up the stuff that we've accumulated since the last episode, and it's a lot.
yeah.
But
And there will be a special Cohan rant at the end of this episode.
cool, that's news for me. Great. I'm just happy that this episode isn't just about all the stupid stuff I bought. You actually have more stuff than I do this time around, much as big of a pile as I've put together.
Do you want to start or do you want me to go?
That's a good question.
No, let me just go. Let me just go. Let me just start. We'll start with
Right.
a random purchase a couple of weeks ago. I am not a Master of the Universe collector. I had them when I was a kid. Loved them. My favorite character, Ram Man. And I saw him in the store and said, I need Ram Man. He's the only Motu figure I have of the new line. Great figure. Love him. He's not the bouncy guy that he was when I was a kid. You pushed him down, you hit the little lever on his foot, and he, ba-ding. But Ram Man. Just a fun figure. He's my favorite Master of the Universe character, and I don't know why. Maybe because I modeled my D&D figures after him, or characters after him. Maybe that's where Herschel was inspired. But Ram Man. So there you go, Ram Man. There, he's out of the way.
As someone who also does not collect Masters of the Universe figures,
right?
I can still appreciate a good looking one, and I love that he's an actual person and not just like a bouncy thing.
Yeah, and even his like knee joints, they bend if you want them to. He doesn't squat. But he is shorter, I think, than many of them. But he's just a brick poop house, and just Ram Man, just he great character. I love that guy. Go ahead.
Excellent. All right, let's start with a line that just came out. The next wave of Marvel Legends X-Men figures came out. This one inspired by the X-Men 97 cartoon. And I picked up the Magneto and the Wolverine because I have neither. I have Wolverines, but not a 90s blue and yellow suit. And I think this one just looks great. I love that it has that sort of hood, so you can have it like laying back as if you just put it down. I think that's a very cool addition. And I've been lacking a Magneto in my collection for a very long time. Like I only have the Age of Apocalypse Magneto, so I'm happy to get one, and especially to have one that like looks like a bad guy. The way he has his shaded eyes because of the helmet, I think that's a good look. And I gotta say, this line, it looks a little more cartoony than the regular figures, which is appropriate. But man, did they do a good job with these head sculpts?
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain I'm also gonna get the Rogue because I don't have a Rogue to go with my old Gambit. It's just a real good looking figure. Speaking of X-Men 97, I also saw that they put out some Funko Pops to go along with the cartoon. And I don't really collect Funko Pops, but I do collect Cyclops. So when I saw that they were putting out
Excellent.
the X-Men '97 Cyclops Funko Pop, what am I going to do? Like, not get it? Um, One of the only other Funko Pops I have is the old uh, Cyclops Funko Pop. Um, so I'm happy to add this one to the collection with his cool little optic blast sparkle in the corner. This was also an eBay exclusive,
Hmm.
which apparently is a thing they do. And that was kind of it was easy to buy because, as I've proven, I know how to buy things on eBay. Um, but it took a little while to get here. So those are my X-Men '97 pickups. What do you got?
Uh, a figure like maybe the fifth figure I've ever pre-ordered because I had to have him. Um, he's very nice, very evil. This is a Danhausen exclusive. Ringside collectibles. It's the one and only AEW figure I probably will ever own. Except that may be, but I mean, just look at the box is great, and then you just open him up, and there he is. There's Danhausen, and if you don't know who Danhausen is, um, I remember the first time I watched his video, I was like, who is this guy? And then I fell in love with him. I met him a couple years ago at Toyhio, which we'll talk about later, and um, got a picture with the guy. I actually spoke with him, and it was funny because I said to him as because it was like later on in the day, his line was obsolete at that time, and I just was speaking to him, and I was like, "Man, does your voice have to hurt?" He was like, "You have no idea," and he broke character with me, and I thought that was cool. Like 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 how often does a wrestler break character? And at a signing or whatever, and we had a great conversation, and Danhausen, there you go.
Let's do another random thing I found on eBay because we might as well keep that theme going. I got just sort of an itch a couple weeks ago. When you just remember some random thing you used to enjoy and you go sniffing around for it. Because I knew this existed, so I went out and found it, and it was at a really nice price on eBay. So I got a Bionic Commando figure.
Oh, wow.
And this is a little guy NECA put out a handful of years ago. It's you can see him a little better on the back there. Um, the main character from the game. This is, of course, the much snazzier looking version that they put out in later generations. Looks a little different than he did back on the original Nintendo. When I played just the heck out of the original Bionic Commando game. His little swing and claw was the greatest video game mechanic I had ever seen back in the NES era. And I would just hop on that just to swing around and go from platform to platform and bounce off of evil soldiers' heads. And I've got the 3D version, which I think came out on Xbox 360.
Hmm.
So
My
not
buddy,
exactly new.
my buddy loved that game. I was never very good at it. But I mean, he used to play it in the arcade, and then when it came to Nintendo and then Super Nintendo, he loved that game. He loved that game.
I love Bionic Commando. It was an infuriating game a little bit though, because at certain levels you would need to go in with a specific weapon in order to blast down like the gate at the very beginning, or else you couldn't proceed in level, um, and you were kind of screwed because you were just sort of stuck there, and you'd usually have to restart the game. And I thought that was the case for decades until a couple years ago when I was watching a playthrough of Bionic Commando, and the guy got to the first stage where you needed a specific weapon, and he just makes an offhand comment about, oh, if you press select and B at the same time, you'll go back up to the overworld map and you can change your weapon. And I had to be taken to the hospital um, because I was absolutely in shock and had a heart attack and a brain aneurysm, and am still mad about it and will probably be mad until I die.
Yeah, that's fair.
But love Bionic Commando. Um, I think it's great that he's just a little guy, but he's in such good condition. I don't know if I'm going to be able to take him out of that little box. Back over to you.
Well, Amazon Prime deals hit this week that we're filming this, and I bought 5 figures. I'm going to show you the 4 that are great, and then saving a rant till later. But we're gonna start with my X-Men. Look at that beauty. Look at Miss Rogue. Look at that Southern Belle. She's great. She's probably top tier of my X-Men. My favorite X-Men. I don't know why I love Rogue so much. Maybe it's her Southern Belle charm. Maybe it was her angst. Maybe it was her just, you know, overpower. But God, Rogue is she's just lovely. And she'll join my X-Men shelf, which is right here. With she'll be my third Rogue figure actually. But great figure. Got her on a prime deal. And then we go to the WWE. I love me some wrestling. Been watching wrestling since I was about 8 years old. Still watch it. Still love it. Still love character building. John gave me a thumbs down on this figure, but I loved the variation on the figure, and it's Happy Corbin. I mean, you give Baron Corbin, this guy does not get enough credit. You whatever you give him, he will take it and just run with it. When he was Sad Corbin, and now he's Happy Corbin. Now he's back to like being like the lone wolf. But I loved the Happy Corbin. Loved the Happy Corbin character. He was just so stupid and so silly and so fun. And look at it. He actually does come with the Sad Corbin face and actually a soft good white shirt. That stain you could put on so it could be Sad Corbin as well. But but this guy does not get enough credit. Happy Corbin, and you know what? I think I really liked him even more because I watch Up Down Down with Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze, and he's one of the guys that comes on and plays video games with them. And when I love watching wrestlers outside of their character, and as good of a guy he is, he's actually seems just like a really good dude. And just to be like, I'll just put you over. I'll lay down for whomever, whatever. And no, this guy needs some love. Happy Corbin, Happy Corbin. Then
It's a
I
good
go,
shirt. Like they
what's
put
that?
a lot of detail. They put a lot of detail into the shirt on that thing.
Yeah, you can't take that one out though. You just put the soft good over it. Then
Mm-hmm.
I had to do this because much respect. Um, After much pushing and whatever, you have to acknowledge the tribal chief. You have to acknowledge the head of the table. I mean, what this guy's done for years, people wanted him to become heel. He finally does, and he's held this title for over 1,000. Like it's like 1,300 days now. He's been world champion, and he got crapped on so hard because they wanted him to be a babyface, and the minute they make him a heel, he becomes a megastar. I always liked Roman Reigns. I was not. I mean, I didn't love the guy. I didn't hate the guy. But I think I need to acknowledge the head of the table, as his shirt says. I had to acknowledge him by getting his figure. I acknowledge the head of the table, what he's done. I acknowledge Roman Reigns, sir. I acknowledge. And
I
then this
don't.
one on sale for what I got him. He was one of my favorite. Oh. Oh. One of my favorites growing up as a kid. He didn't hold the title too long, and it's the best version of the title. The Intercontinental Heavy. That's the best version of the title right there.
It's a pretty good one.
Tito's got one, but you gotta go Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Oh, Ricky Steamboat, so good. Just, I mean, he won the belt. He won the heavyweight title in WCW, maybe NWA at the time, but the Dragon, just just a class act, a class dude. He's just an icon in the business, and if you've been watching wrestling for as long as I have, you recognize greatness, and Ricky Steamboat is greatness. He's greatness. I have another Amazon Prime thing, but that's during the rant.
I always really liked Ricky Steamboat.
Oh,
As someone who kind of, I like anyone who holds the Intercontinental belt, but he was a good one.
but even
And that's a
before
good
the
looking
IC,
figure. He's got some good pants.
oh yeah, the details on this are great. I don't know how well you can see it, but just so well detailed, and I mean it's Ricky. He's so good.
It's real good.
I believe check my history. He wins the opening match in WrestleMania 1. I believe it's Steamboat, and soon after, maybe 2 or 3, it's Tito. I'm always going to give my love to my boy. So that's my Prime Day exclusive picks, because I got those for a pretty good price.
Excellent. I got my next figure at a really good price too, because it was super duper on sale. And I'm going to stay in theme because this one's also another little guy, just like the Bionic Commando was. And this is another character that just befuddles Kohan as to why I like him so much. But these figures are things that I've seen at toy shows for years and have always been fascinated by. And to find one on such a good sale, I had to jump on it. So this is the Boss Fight Studios, one of their hero hacks of the Phantom.
Oh, yeah.
And I love me some Ghost Who Walks. And from watching him on Defenders of the Earth to just old Phantom comics to the Phantom 2040 cartoon, he's just there are certain sort of old pulpy things that fascinate me, and Phantom is one of them. Because I think he's such a sort of prototypical superhero that I think you can draw a line from him to a lot of super popular modern figures and modern superheroes.
I had to pull a couple down from top shelf that I preset, so I'm sorry, but go ahead.
But there's a special place in my heart for little figures. I like a little guy. So when I would see these at shows, they would always catch my eye. But for a little figure, these things ain't cheap. But finding one on sale, especially with such a good color purple to them, and the red sort of striped Speedo.
John, actually, it's funny because he actually, like when you hold them to the camera, he actually looks very blue, not purple.
That's probably just the ring light, but not mad at it.
Yeah.
And this one also comes with, I don't know if you can see him up there at the top of his packaging. He comes with like 2 little pigeons with even littler people on them. And I don't know what the lore behind those are, but I'll take them.
Oh. Oh, someone went down. Sorry.
Um, so anytime I can pick up a little bit of Phantom, like I've got a couple of them that NECA put out recently, and I'm happy to add a little version of them to the shelf. Hero Hex has a few versions of these ones. Like there's one where he's riding a horse, um, but this is the one that they had on sale, so I jumped on it. Happy to have another Phantom.
So October 14th, Tohio happened again. And I'm a sucker for Tohio. And I did not get this at Tohio. I don't know. I cannot tell you how long I've had this in the box. This says came out in '97, so maybe I've had it that long. It's Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. I'm a huge, as much as I love the Cleveland Browns, I've been a Niners fan for my entire life. Love me some Joe and Jerry. I mean, you cannot argue. I don't care. You want to throw Tom Brady, whoever. Nah. You want to win a game in the last 2 minutes of a Super Bowl or a regular season? Give me this guy. This guy right here. Who's the greatest wide receiver ever? This guy right here, number 80. So, when I was meandering through Tohio today, the very first purchase I got, and I looked down, and it reminds me probably how much that's going to be worth, even though it's almost 30 years old. So this was $10, and I looked down and I said, no way. So I did it, and I don't care because it's who I am, and I got Joe Montana and Dwight Clark, the catch. And if you know the catch, you know the catch. It's one of the greatest moments in NFL history, and that began my love of the Niners. And it was $10. And again, this is again 97. So these two things are not going to be worth anything to anybody ever unless you have a heart. Look at Joe. His hands in the air. Look at the catch. I mean, you got now. I have the best quarterback of all time. Shut up, Tom Brady. Sit down. I don't care how many you've been to, but I've got the GOAT, and the GOAT. Well, Dwight Clark is probably not the GOAT of tight ends, but you've got the GOAT of quarterbacks, the GOAT of wide receivers. They're going to be hanging next to each other. Jerry, Joe, Dwight, just look at that gloriousness. And again, for $10, again, no one else in the world is going to want this except me or some other stupid diehard 49er fan. But they're going to look so good next to it. I mean, the greatest catch in NFL history and the greatest, I don't care. You could throw your Peyton Manning and what was his name?
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. You all you want. No. Ain't nobody. Joe and Jerry. Double J, you got that. Oh, good find. Good find for me. Me.
That's a great pickup, especially that's a fantastic price, and you're right. That's going to look great next to each other. Wouldn't have spent like 30 seconds thinking about it.
Yeah, like that was like I walked in, looked around, managed tables, it got to this table, and it was I was like, that's $10. Here, take this. Oh, by the way, I forgot my other one. My other GI Joe. I already have him, but had to unbox him. Look at how great Spirit and Freedom. Oh, how great do Spirit and Freedom look together. They're a classic combo. What a great GI Joe Spirit is, and to have his companion, with like Shipwreck has Polly, and Polly's great. But look at that magnificence. Look at that. Look at that. Who do you want on your shoulder? The parrot or the eagle?
I'm fascinated by this bird-based ranking system you've created.
Well, there's only two, so
I think Spirit's one of the best classified GI Joe figures they've made.
oh, he looks so good.
He's very
They
good.
they did really they did justice to the figure. A great upgrade to him. Um, yeah, yeah, they did a really good job with him. All right, your turn.
All right, in the same sale that I got the Phantom from, I knew I had a gift card that I was using, so I had a certain amount that I wanted to hit, and I spent most of it on something that I'll talk about later. But I had just a little left to finish the thing off, and they had something very interesting on just the most clearance of clearance prices that they possibly could. Um, so I said, heck yeah, why not? And I got myself an Avatar Aang.
Oh,
So they had Avatar Aang and Momo here on like deep clearance. I'm talking like $3 and change.
oh wow.
So yeah, have no excuse. I do have one other Aang figure, but it's not from this McFarlane line. And these are some good looking figures. Like his
Yeah,
outfit has just a
I was just saying that's the Princess Bride line. Is the McFarlane line?
nice. So like you can see like that's if you can get the glare off it, that's a good looking face. Like big expressive eyes, very much looks like an animated face. But his clothes have a very realistic texture to them as well. Um, and Avatar is the Joe Montana of animation. Um, like Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best animated series to come out of that entire decade.
Well, my daughter has
And
a tattoo of Appa on her wrist right here, and then I think she considers herself an Earthbender. I don't know. She's got some symbol like literally right here on her bicep, and
nice.
I'm like, I, you do you, kid.
Aang's just the one of my favorite characters, and the best part of that show is any episode where he gets to kick it in a high gear and goes into the Avatar state, which is why I also picked up the one of him in the Avatar state
Oh, nice.
because I this is nice friendly Aang where he's gonna make some silly comments and be adorable, and then this is just butt kicking awesome Aang where whoever the bad guys are that episode are screwed
Nice.
because that show is good, and him going into Avatar state is such a fantastic. I don't want to call it a mechanic or a device, but it's such a good bit of storytelling that just accelerates and and deepens the conflict and the stakes and everything, and they can do so much with it. And sort of like I was going to bring this up when you were talking about Rogue, and how she comes from an era where X-Men had powers that had downsides. Um, you know, there is a danger to Aang when he's in his Avatar state, and that's such a good bit of writing.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, he is extremely powerful, but also in a ton of danger. Um, so it's just the best. So I have no idea where I'm going to put these guys, but uh, I'll find someplace to put them, and especially that big glowing arrow on its head. It's such a good visual. Um, Avatar's great. Go watch it. I can't believe you're watching this if you haven't watched Avatar.
Um, you know what I noticed on the back of the starting lineup is
What you got?
it's classic doubles, and they show you all the teams in the back. You still got the Houston Oilers. You got the Baltimore Ravens. There's no Cleveland Browns.
No, there's not.
And even on Joe and Jerry, it's the same thing. There's no Browns.
Well, it came out in '97.
Yeah.
There weren't any Browns.
There were not. And how that just crushed my heart a little. It really did crush my heart a little. Wow. So some wrestling figures I picked up today at Toy Hio. This is not going to be unboxed, but I had to get it because it's a ringside. If you ever gone to ringside, John, you and I have talked about that before. Ringside collectibles, they do a lot of their own figures. In fact, I think that's where Danhausen came from originally, earlier. But I had to pick up Cody Rhodes, and particularly this Cody Rhodes, where you've got when he ripped his pectoral in the Hell in a Cell in after WrestleMania, and went there. And I thought, what a neat figure. Because you don't get that often, right? You don't get the, he was literally the last piece I bought today. But with the bruising, and I mean, if you've seen the match, and when he took off that coat, and everybody was like, he's faking, and then he takes off his ring jacket, and you're like, that's ugly. Did you watch that, John?
No, but I know it won like match of the year.
Yeah, and it was. I just thought, what a great figure to have. And they're called defining moments, and that is a defining moment for Cody Rhodes. I've enjoyed his run. Excuse me, since he's been back, but like I love the WrestleMania entrance, but that's a lot of money. But this one, this one spoke to me, and because again, I mean, just have the bruising and the detail and everything that goes. He's staying in box. I'm not going to unbox him. In fact, everything I bought today that is in box, I think I'm only going to unbox for one thing, and I'll explain here in a moment. Or was already unboxed. But that good looking Cody figure, just nod to this young man, and good for him. This figure is the one I'm going to unbox, probably because the sticker won't come off cleanly, and it makes me angry. And I bought this because it's a nod. He was not ever one of my favorite wrestlers, but a nod to a great worker, a great character. You put anything in front of him, he's going to do it. Is Bray Wyatt, and gone too soon. Young man died with a family, young kids, died way too soon. But I really like this figure because it's Funhouse Bray, and he comes with the pig. I can't remember the pig's name. Good looking figure. He was inexpensive, and I was going to keep him in box, but this damn sticker won't come off. So I may have to put him with the legend shelf that I have. And just unfortunate. He was so good. He really was. I mean, he turned chicken poop into chicken, salad, and did so well, and died way too soon. 20 years younger than me, and this young man is gone. And the Funhouse, the Firefly Funhouse was so fun. I saw several Fiend figures with titles, whatever, but this one, then it comes to the pig. It comes to the pig, made me laugh, and I had to scoop him up. And it's unfortunate this young man passed away when he did, because just he, and again, I've watched a lot of the YouTubes and whatever, and everybody talking about him and how much he was just a happy, friendly guy, welcomed everybody into the fold, you know, and people just, I love when wrestlers break character and or actually themselves, and when they talk about a friend or someone who passes away, it's very heartfelt. And I'm a crier anyway, so yeah, I'm crying while they're talking about him. But so this is an homage to Bray, and I did not want to unbox him. I wanted to hang him onto the wall, but this sticker is just making me angry. So maybe I've got some Goo Gone. I'm going to try to give that a shot. Maybe take that off. But he came with a pig, and that was the Fiend character with the world belt and this, that, and the other. But Bray got the pig. We're in the happy fun house.
If you have any tips for getting off price tags, put them in the comments. I didn't watch WWE very much when he was doing his whole run with the Wyatt family and their whole sort of backwoods creepiness theme.
That's after
But
that, though.
when he got into like the Fiend and the Funhouse and the whole like those dichotomous characters, I thought that was some of the most creative and fascinating stuff that I've seen anybody do. Like
Even
that was wildly original.
even during during COVID, the WrestleMania match against John Cena. What a fun cinematic journey that was. And again,
And,
we all
yeah,
know it's set up. We all know it's set up. I refuse to say fake. We all know it's set up. But what just again for him to just embrace and like when he came on, in NXT, he was Husky Harris because he was fat. Come on, man. And
isn't that
then
what the
to do
pig's
what
name
he
is?
go ahead.
Isn't that what the pig's name is? He named the pig after that character.
Oh, was it Husky?
It might have been Husky.
I don't remember the pig's name, but that, like I said, I saw several Fiend characters today, and I was like, no, this is the one. This is the homage to this great man, whom everybody seemed to adore and love, and I want to pay homage. Again, not one of my favorites, but as a wrestling fan for 40 years, I think I need, again, when I find a good Iron Sheik, he's going on the wall too. If I can find something to get that off, I don't want to unbox him because I think he's precious in the box, and as much as I love unboxing, but no, I want to leave him there.
Cinematic was going to be the word I was going to use too, because I think he was doing stuff that really tapped into that potential that pro wrestling has as something that, yeah, they do it in the ring, but there's so much more cinematic potential that just nobody tries to do anything
Yeah.
creative with. So he was doing
that
some
match
weird and different
and
stuff, but it was great.
yeah, that match and Undertaker AJ Styles at that WrestleMania were just
Yeah.
just they were an event. They were not a wrestling match, but they were an event to watch.
They weren't wrestling; they were sports entertainment.
They were sports entertainment, and that's actually the two figures I'm looking for. I'm looking for a good Undertaker figure and a good Miz figure. I need to have a really good Miz figure. The Miz, that guy is so underrated. They're like, Miz, eat dog poop. Okay. Miz, do this. Okay. He will do anything you ask of him, and he's such a professional about it, and he's so good at it. He is one of the best heels, dare I say, of all time. Of all time. Because he could be serious, he could be silly, he could be. I know he's from Cleveland, maybe a bit biased, but he's so good just again, you lay something in front of him, he goes, all right, and he'll do it. And I need a really good Miz figure. Another one I want in my head, and I need a good Taker figure too. Those are kind of like where I'm hunting now.
Can I tell you about a figure that I'm definitely going to unbox?
Uh huh.
This is what I got from Amazon Prime Day, and I'd been keeping my eye on it from the beginning because I knew it was eventually going to happen. I was like, it's an Amazon exclusive, but eventually it's going to go on sale. And it finally did on Amazon Prime Day. So I got myself the Black Knight and Circe 2 pack
Nice.
because continuing the tradition of befuddling characters that Kohan cannot understand why I enjoy. Um, Kohan, I love the Black Knight.
I know. How many Black Knight figures have I purchased for you?
This is the third Black Knight figure. After this Black Knight figure and this Black Knight figure that just so happened to be sitting right next to me so I can reach over and grab them. And they're all very good. They all wear the same helmet because that's the version that I like. But this is my favorite form that Black Knight takes. I love the jacket. I love the legally distinct from the lightsaber. Um, and I think that's much cooler and more comic booky than the ebony blade, which never really gave a crap about. But this is the Black Knight that I really like because this is the Black Knight that shows up in sort of the early mid 90s Avengers, especially in the Blood Ties
Huh.
crossover with the X-Men.
Wait. Where'd you get the comic from?
It was over there on top of this pile.
Huh. Where do all those comics come from?
Where they have this multi-part crossover between the X-Men and the Avengers, which I also love because it really showcased Exodus, but the whole thing comes to a screeching halt because Black Knight just sneaks up and backstabs him with his laser sword. End of story. So I'm definitely taking him out the box and putting him up there, and then I don't know what Circe is going to do because she's not the reason I bought it.
No, she can hang out. She can hang out. Hang out with Black Knight. Let her hang out.
Fine. But yeah, love having another Black Knight. Finally, one that looks normal. Can I tell you why I like the Black Knight?
Yes, please do.
Because you might know the other Avenger that I'm a big fan of by the name of 321. Guess it?
Hawkeye.
Exactly. Hawkeye. What do those two have in common?
They're dudes. They don't have
Clearly.
any special powers.
Exactly. Have no superpowers. All they do is use an incredibly inappropriate, like, arcane weapon that has no business being used in a superhero fight. Like, he's using a bow and arrow, like, against people who shoot lasers, like, out of their eyes. Like, he's got a sword.
Yeah,
And not
again,
a sword that's backed up with superhuman strength. Like, sure, it has like some magical backstory, whoopity doo, but he's just a dude with a sword. Like, he's fighting space aliens who have guns and spaceships that have guns on them as well.
yes,
And I love that. Like, I've always just loved that this thing is clearly out of place in this story, but we're gonna make it work. Like, would you show up to an alien laser gun fight and just be like, got my sword, ready, go? No, because they would all just blast you down immediately.
Yes, but if you're sneaking in, your sword works just as well as that laser gun if you're up close. It's just as effective, and your bow. it's just as effective at long range.
Does this look like a dude who's sneaking into a fight
Well, he's got the
with his
armor.
scale mail and his cape?
I know. Again,
Like
I know that
he's the Black Knight, not like the Black Rogue.
Black Knight,
But
Adam Warlock, Captain
he does
Britain, all
he
these
does not have
guys.
he is not a stealth based class.
No, but that's what makes him so cool. A reminiscent of a Luke Cage. He's just gonna walk into battle. Or shoot me, shoot me. Your guy has armor. My guy has, steel hard skin. Man, we're just when I get there, you're gonna
Yeah,
you're
that
gonna
could be.
regret everything I'm gonna do to you.
You know who cannot take a bullet? Black Knight.
Yes, he can because his armor.
Yeah, whatever. Um, but he was also a long term, like firmly established member of the Avengers. Like he's going out there on intergalactic missions, fighting like the Kree and like cosmic level threats. Like Luke Cage is mainly like a street level superhero, but he does have a power that like could be useful in supernatural intergalactic situations. He's just a dude with a sword in space, and that's stupid.
Yeah, but the sword
And that's
is
why I like
magical.
it.
The sword is magical.
Whoopity do.
I don't begrudge your love of the
I'm
Black
sure
Knight.
whoever picks it off his smoldering corpse will love the fact that it's magical.
I actually like your love for the Black Knight more than your love for Cyclops. Actually,
Well, tough.
that makes sense. I have to gather my next. Are you done?
Yep.
All right. I have to gather my next group because knee. So, walking around to Ohio today, I'd gone by this table a couple times, and there were 4 GI Joe things, and there was uh, a note card. It was like $25, and so I said to the guy, "That is it $25 for each?" He's like, "No, it's $25 for the set." I'm like, "Sold American." Now they're incomplete, and I get that, but I'm like, "What can I do to adorn my flag?" So I got the mobile command, the mobile command missile system. It doesn't have its missiles. No worries. It got the little box. Okay, we can throw that. No worries. Then I got last week. Remember I bought a Skyhawk. Got a second Skyhawk, but it doesn't have its wings to it. Okay, so I got guys who could repair this sitting on the flag. I can't remember the name of this.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I got this cannon. I don't remember the name of this cannon, but it's towable. Put on the Wolverine or the Vamp that's sitting on there. But the piece de resistance was the laser cannon, and I think it's missing its little thing here. Laser cannon here cranks up and down, and you know what is really missing is the figure it comes with, which is one of the very first figures I ever owned. And this is like the 3rd time this guy's going to be mentioned on here. Grand Slam. Grand Slam has his laser cannon. So I could put Grand Slam in his little laser cannon. So I got all 4 of these things. Granted, incomplete. $25. And I was happy. I was like, sold American.
You can probably find the missiles to the first one.
Oh, yeah.
But I love the idea of what was the name of the little helicopter-y thing?
The
Buzzhawk or something? Yeah. I love the idea of a damaged Skyhawk getting repaired.
Yeah.
Then,
Then
that's very cool. You can even put it next to the other Skyhawk, but have like all the little tech guys like gathered around the back end of that one.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great.
Then, and John, you've seen my setup, and what the funny thing is, I went the shark.
Love the
which
shark.
comes with another Deep Six and its missiles and everything else included. And you've seen the setup. This is going to go in the water with my water boys, and another deep six
did you
figure
find that?
actually.
Did you find that at Toy Hio today?
Yeah, all
That's
this I'm showing you is
great.
from Tohio.
That's a good looking shark.
It's funny because when I got the shark, it was actually missing all the decals weren't included, and the styrofoam that is supposed to make it float also not there. And there was a piece of deep six, and now this is not a complete deep six because you can't make them pump and float like you could. But I also did not have that. But this is a good looking shark, and scoop that up too to go in the water with my Joes. And then finally I gotta remember the name of this thing. I gotta find the. We actually talked about this when you were up here, and I couldn't remember the name of it. Oh, Skystorm, and it's the.
Oh, I loved that one. I had that one as a kid, and oh yeah, big fan. Played the heck out of that thing.
Yep. So got all three. They were. Oh, there's one more coming. Sorry. So the first batch was at a different table. I got the set of for 25, but then the shark, this bad boy, a Skystorm, it came with a figure too. So now I have two windmills.
Okay. I was gonna ask who pilots that thing.
Yeah, that's windmill. Great. You know, again, and you've seen the flag, so now I can adorn the flag with all this happy goodness.
Excellent.
And then, actually, a vehicle never had as a kid, and scooped up today. The Polar Battle Bear. What a great vehicle. And the snow guys, you've seen
You've got so many snow guys.
They're just gonna hang around the Polar Battle Bear and talk and do what they do. But look how good that is, man. Never had this growing for all
Those
the vehicles
so
and
nice.
stuff I had for GI Joe. Never had the Polar Battle Bear, and that's
like
gonna sit.
The stickers are doing so well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good piece. That's a good piece. And scooped all of them. I said to the guy, I'm like, I'm about to lighten your load. He goes, oh really, man? Huh? And I scooped all those three vehicles up at the same spot, and they were all the same price actually. The Polar Battle Bear, the Skystorm, and the Shark, they were all the same price.
Wow.
And I was like, screw it, I'm doing it. So I scooped them all.
Well, I look forward to getting a message from you in the next couple of days saying, hey, I have completely run out of space on the flag.
I don't think that's going to
happen. You got a lot of stuff on there already.
Yes, now it's just maneuvering it. It's just respacing it. Yeah, we'll be all right. Because now the Fly Boys get to hang around I've got one more figure. I've got three more things to show you, and then I'm out.
All right. This one, my next one's going to be kind of quick, because I've talked about its general. I've talked about its source quite extensively before, but this might be a first for I Bought Toys Today, because I didn't buy this toy. My wife did.
Oh.
I asked her about it when she was in Target one day. I was like, hey, check and see if this is out yet. And it wasn't. It was still only on pre-order. And unbeknownst to me, she just pre-ordered it off the website. And when it came in one day, she just handed me the box and she just said, here's your thing. And that's how I got Slushhead from the New Adventures of He-Man.
Slushhead?
Slushhead.
Woof.
And luckily, I didn't buy it, so I can say I don't collect He-Man figures. This was gifted to me. but Slushhead is very good. It's such a weird figure. It, not that they made it like it's very cool. He's got like some Doc Ock arms going on there. He's got like his fishbowl head. It's just weird that they made Slushhead when he's not like he's prominent, but he's not the main bad guy. Like he's not the
I've
leader
never
of the
heard of him.
mutants. Exactly. Like they've made He-Man and Skeletor, so you'd think like next up they would make sort of the maybe like the leader of the mutants or sort of one of the leaders of whatever He-Man's side was. But no, they went with sort of a big old deluxe slush head. And he is great because he has sort of like a just overdone sort of gargly fishbowl voice. Like it sounds like you would expect an 80s cartoon to sound when they're trying to make someone sound like they're talking underwater.
So like Merman.
So it was just such a weird figure, but I'm happy to have it because like they got to keep making new adventures figures, because eventually they're going to get to the ones that I really want. Um, so I got to keep supporting them, darn it. But it is a just a good looking figure. This whole line of sort of new Eternia, new adventures and various other niches of this line of Motu figures are just fantastic. Like even the ones that I have no interest in getting look great. So now we got just a big old weird slush head.
Very good. Well, particularly like when someone gets it for you and maybe you don't necessarily want it, but it's a plus to your collection. That's good.
Exactly. You're up.
All right. So this character I found it's going on the wall. I'm not going to unbox it. I know like it's like an emblazoned autograph or fake autograph, but I saw it and I think this I had to get it. It was cheap too, and it was like I had to give a nod to the creator, to the creator. How great is that? It's Stanley.
Oh, very good. You found one.
Stanley with cap
Love
shield.
that one.
It's going on the wall. This is a nod to the god. Good, just he was $20, and I was like, yeah, that's mine.
Oh, really?
It has to come home because I thought it would be more. And again,
yeah,
you obviously, yeah. I mean, it's inside. It's probably lifted and printed. It's even on the shield. He's not coming out of this box. But what a great figure. I mean, Stanley with cap shield, one of my favorite characters. Just you nod your head to the you give thanks to the creator and Stanley. Good, just good scoop up. And he was actually the second figure I bought. Like I walked by and I was looking at like I had gone by several booths by that time and came by him and I was like, that's only $20? Here, take my money. Here, have this. This I want this.
Yeah.
Here, take this for this.
Hand over that $20 and sleep just fine tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Who knows where we would be without him?
Yes, exactly. You're exactly right. And I know the things, the stories surrounding him and what have you. I guess I'll come back. But just come on. The father of Marvel Comics. The father. And now I have him, and he will be displayed predominantly on my wall because he needs to be.
It's a good pickup.
That's a steal. How many you got left? Okay, you do your two, and then I'll go on my rant.
I've been waiting to show this one off, and I'm real excited about it. because it's also something new to the show. Um, a lot of my toy collecting, and I'm going to assume yours as well, is fueled by nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I end up with things like the Phantom and Bionic Commandos and just piles and piles of X-Men. Um, but there's also a part of me that just really enjoys action figures, for lack of a better word, like as an art form,
Yeah.
like as both a like mechanical and artistic media. Um, you can make a lot of really cool stuff in an action figure, and I'd seen this getting advertised, um, and I've never bought anything like this before. I mean, that's what most of the stuff I show on here is Marvel Legends and Toy Biz figures, and Masters of the Universe and whatnot. So I don't go out too much into the just sort of special designer figures. Um, but this one is right up my alley, and I've been saving it to talk about it. It's still in its plastic, excuse me, still in the plastic, so I don't have the actual figure. Um, but I bought the action figure for the Mask of the Red Death,
Oh wow.
put out by the Four Horsemen Studios, um, and I'd been seeing pictures of it posted on, just because of all the different toy accounts follow on social media. Um, Surprisingly, I've seen so many people in like the local Facebook group, sharing pictures of theirs. So there's a lot of people who live by me who also picked one of these up. So I saw it went on it went up on the Four Horsemen website, um, and they sort of space their orders out where they're like they'll do a few in the morning, they'll do a few in the evening, to deal with an international audience and whatnot. And like it sold out each time. And they're like, we're putting it up again in a few days to give people another shot. And I jumped at that shot, um,
Wow.
and I got one. And
Little
I'm
little,
so
little
excited
Edgar
to,
Allan Poe right there.
yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Get to next. I love Edgar Allan Poe. Um, from Raven, Fall of the House of Usher, um, anything you could make into a movie that you could cast Vincent Price in. Like I'm a big fan, and this is
are
like
you
I
are,
don't even call it an I don't even want to call it an action figure. Like this is a piece of art that like has bendable knees.
are you gonna
Um,
unbox it?
oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I've
I
just
can't
been
wait. I
saving
can't
it.
wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
I'll take a bunch of pictures. I'll put them up on the I Bought Toys Today Instagram page, and I mean, you can already see pictures of it all over the place, and it's gorgeous and it's weird and it's creepy, and I think you'll appreciate this,
Great.
Kohan. The the possibly the best thing that it comes with, in my opinion, and it's outside the box. It comes with this little booklet that has a bio for the Four Horsemen Studios, a little about page for Edgar Allan Poe, but then it also has the full text of the Mask of the Red Death story.
Well, I applaud. I applaud. That thank God. I mean, I haven't taught that story in years, but there was a time I did teach it. Great, great story. I mean, just a great story.
And it's gothic as heck, and just the Poe's ability. Hi, this is a literature podcast now. Welcome. I read books today.
Yeah,
Um, like Poe's ability to like create a tone in his writing, and create sort of a just that gothic mood, and um, is just fantastic.
yeah.
And I have no idea what I'm going to do with this super creepy thing.
You display it for all it's worth.
Because I'm just going to put it wherever it can traumatize my children. Because it is like it's great. It comes with like a grandfather clock. It comes with like a pool of blood that he can stand in.
Oh
And
wow!
I think it this opens up so he has like this backdrop of the mansion, and there's the grandfather clock that it comes with. And I'm so excited to bust this out of the
Wow,
packaging
good,
now that I've
good
told you
pull,
about it,
John. Good pull.
because um, I don't dip too much out of nostalgia based toy collecting, but this is one that I would have kicked myself for passing up on, because it was just full of stuff that I'm gonna enjoy.
That's like we were talking, a couple episodes ago, like you're like, oh, you bought the flag, the show's over. No, it's stuff like that. It's the fun stuff. It's the hidden gems. It's now about the hidden gems, and great pull on that. Great pull on that.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm happy to see that, and it's gonna very excited. Do you have anything else? Because I got one last thing.
I got one more, but I want you to go first.
Okay.
I know what it is.
It's possibly the only thing that could be better than that Mask of the Red Death figure.
But
And
not
it's
as good
also
as, not as good as the flag.
It's also red.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now, I told you that I bought some things on sale recently, and Entertainment Earth put this guy on sale. It wasn't a huge sale, but it was enough of a sale. And when I finally remembered that I had a gift card anyway. So I got me a Monstar, just a big Monstar. And I took the plastic off of this at the beginning of this recording, because I'd been saving it, just like Mask the Red Death. Have not opened it, have not taken it out, haven't even looked at it.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at Monstar.
Look at how much space he takes up in that box. Oof. This is the first time I'm looking.
Yeah,
at it.
you're
Like
kind of
you saw me uncover it for the first time.
You're kind of stunned.
It's so big, Cody. And congratulations to myself for just creating the clip I'm going to have to pull for this episode. Just me looking at this and saying it's so big. It's
so
so
big,
big.
Kohan. That's how it goes.
Well, we just found the title of this episode.
Oh.
Like, I don't. What do I got nearby? Like,
yeah, that's a good figure.
It's so big.
That's what she said. Pull down your juggernaut. Pull down your juggernaut.
No. If I pull down Juggernaut, I'm gonna pull down a lot of his friends.
Well, is he? But he's probably around that size, right?
God, maybe. Like we had Mumra last episode, and he was a biggie.
I love how our lightning episode is going an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, we've been going fast. We've just had a lot to get through. Wow, and I mean I've seen him at shows and whatnot. but never up close like this. And holy crap, that's a big Mumra.
Yeah.
That's a big Monstar.
You should do a diorama Monstar versus Mumra.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna pull Mumron down and get some pictures of them together. But this is fantastic. I was a little bummed.
John, I love watching the joy and awe on your face as you're looking at this thing. It's
Well, when I got the regular Monstar, I talked about how much I played with the original toy back then, which was so much smaller than this, obviously. But I was bummed when they've announced the next wave of Silverhawk figures. It's the one where they're actually like, chroming them and they're all shiny, and they're putting out a new Monstar that is based on the original figure. So it's basically the same one. It's just all red, because that's what the original one looked like. Like, it was just all red, no different shades, no like bits of black on the shoulder or anything. So just imagine like the color red that his chest is, just over the entire body. And part of me was like, that would be cool, because the reason I love Monstar is because of that original figure. But I don't want to wait that long. I don't think it's coming out until like June of next year. But also, I do just like having the Monstar that looks like the actual Monstar. And holy crap, is he big! And like I said earlier, I love a little guy, but there's something to be said about big action figures. Like, they're, again, going back into action figures as more than just a pieces of nostalgic entertainment, like them as mechanical pieces of art. This is a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
like he's the size of my stinking head.
it's a big head.
That's a big boy.
So, before we run out of time here, may I shout out to one of my favorite websites, What's on Joe Mind, Staff Sergeant Cnug's shirt. Buy them at What's on Joe Mind. Great podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it. And I'm about to rant. You see, so I rarely pre-order figures. I got my Danhausen, it was great. Got my Sergeant Slaughter, phenomenal. Got my Gung Ho, phenomenal. And this time I went low light. So there's the box that low light came in. And John, you need to pay attention. Thank you.
Wait, I can't just look at Monstar this whole time?
No.
I mean, I'm going to edit this so I'm not even on the screen. Like, it's just going to be you talking.
So when I open low light, I open it from the bottom, thusly. I pulled out his character, and they come in their weapons come in these like little boxes. So it's like, all right, let me open Lloyd's box. Let me get his weapons. And I picked up and I did this, and I heard this weird noise. And when I unrolled said noise, that was Lloyd's weapons. There's 2 more of these. It was 4 screws. So as my anger began to rise, when I looked to get the figure out, this box is where the figure should be in. That's what was in the box. It's still falling out. All these slabs of thank God they have his picture in the back. Thank God. These slabs of cardboard were in the box. Are you kidding me? Yes, bleep it. I don't care. What the hell? So this will be sent back to where I ordered it from. I will be refunded. And actually on What's on Joe Mind, I remember one of the guys. I don't remember. Maybe the honcho. Somebody when they got this in here instead of the cardboard that I got was like a crushed plastic water bottle. This is why I don't pre-order guys offline. You don't know what the hell you're going to get. Can you believe that? I mean, literally, that's I showed you just what I 4 screws for his weapons in this brown paper, and then this plethora of cardboard for instead of the figure. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What in the bloody hell? Stunned. And if this is from Hasbro immediately, I mean, it was from Amazon. I have to go back and look to see like where it came from. But like, are you kidding me? You don't think I'm gonna get this, open it up, and not send it back? You ridiculous a-hole. How? And if it's Hasbro and they're not doing quality control, shame on you. Shame on you, because I got a Dragonfly coming next summer, and if I get something like this, we're gonna have words. We're gonna have words. And how dare you? I mean, this was actually basically Tom's gift card. That's what I spent it on, and now I'm gonna send it back because it's nothing. It's 4 screws and that much of worth of cardboard. How can that happen? How can that happen? Oh, forgot a piece. How, John? How does that happen?
I don't know how, but I bet I know why. And this is why they don't bother me, but I think this is why so many people complained when Hasbro and other companies switched from like the clear plastic packaging to just the art, because stuff like this happens. Because I don't know if you can, but if you pan your camera over to your wall there, you will see a handful of classified Joe figures that are not taken out of the box.
Yeah.
So what people who do this are probably banking on is that they got at least a 50-50 shot that the people buying these aren't even going to take them out of the box.
Well, and that's my fears of I've got a CoverGirl up there still unboxed, but that's why I bought a second one. I've got I've got a Sarge, but I bought a second one, and the only other one that is not unboxed is the what the hell is that? No, I unboxed him. No. So like Bazooka Shipwreck, who came with the now plastic unboxed, and they were fine. Yeah, I just that's infuriating.
Yeah, it's absolutely a scam, because you get the weight about right, and if it's sold to someone who's just going to go, yes, low light, put them up there on the wall next to Bazooka and Shipwreck, and never crack them open, because that would, ruin the value or whatever. How would they ever know? So when you do return it, um, make sure because you got it from Amazon, make sure you click that button and leave a detailed review of what you were sent.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be important and helpful to whoever, whatever seller that came through, um, that whether they, if they know that's what they're sending out, it'll help people avoid that. And if they don't know for somehow that that's what they're sending out, hopefully it'll help them get their house in order.
Yeah, and I was so excited. I'm like, because I was gonna buy another one anyway to unbox him, but I was like, I got this one first, and the box is a bit damaged. So I was like, all right, we'll open this one up. Good thing I
Yeah,
fucking did.
because yeah,
You bleeped that again too. I'm sorry.
enjoy all the quacking sounds that
Yeah.
you've gotten in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, I was so angry because like when I opened the box, it was Rogue, Happy Corbin, Roman, Ricky Steamboat, and Lowlight, and I did like
And
the wrestlers. Then I did Rogue. I'm like, and Lowlight. What? Oh,
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 oh!
I bet.
It's a good thing we were not live when that happened.
And especially because it's low light. Like I was complimentary of Spirit. Low light is the best GI Joe figure they've made.
He's a
He's
great.
he's
He's a great look. I don't know. I mean,
like I
he looks great.
who knows. No, but I only buy a handful of Cobra Vipers every now and then. But if I were to buy one GI Joe figure, it'd be Low Light.
He's one. He's the
He's
top
great.
10. He's one of my top 10, man.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer,
And
and
not
a
because
real crappy scam.
and not because he's a great looking figure, because he is, but he's one of my favorite Joes. He's in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah, and that's definitely what it is. Like you said, you're going to buy another one to open. So if you had never opened that one and just put it on the wall, you how long could that stay there with you, never knowing that it's full of cardboard and screws?
Oh my god. Oh, and again, that's why the you can bleep that out too. I should probably open my
I
Zorana.
gotta find a new sound effect.
I think Zorana in a pack because no, she's clear. I just that's so infuriating. So
Yeah,
infuriating.
it stinks.
It's either did somebody actually open it up and repackage it that way, or Hasbro is not quality control. Like, why would you do
I'm
that?
I'm betting. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give Hasbro the benefit of the doubt. I'm betting that's just some shady third party seller.
Yeah, but when you can return it and trace it back.
I'm not saying it's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, another one. Sorry. God, I see. I'm angry now.
I'm gonna find a clip of them yelling "Yo Joe," and that's one you use to bleep all these.
Please do. Also, support What's on Joe Mind. They're on Tuesdays, on YouTube, Facebook. Watch their podcast if you love GI Joe. They do a great thing on GI Joe. Haven't shouted out Dan Larson in a while, but
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what kind of show is this? We're shouting out other GI Joe shows. We don't even talk about Dan Larson anymore.
oh no, we got no. Much love to Dan Larson. Secret Galaxy and
This is our Dan Larson fan cast.
yeah.
I watched Dan Larson today.
Oh, that when he goes through his boy, he put himself through torture when he lined up all those figures, tried to do his top 10. Bless his heart, but man, he had a rough time. So I'm gonna shout out several different podcasts. We're gonna start off What's on Joe Mind Tuesdays, 9 o'clock if you're in the eastern part of the country. Gonna shout out Hooded Cobra Commander HCC 8877. Hooded Cobra Commander. He's right on before What's on Joe Mind. Gonna shout out Love That Danhausen. And my new friend, the Bunny. If you look up the bunny, I think it's Laura Ali. Um, she also does toy hunts and unboxings and just fun community to be involved in. Again, we may not have the biggest group watching us, but we're just having a fun time doing this. And thank you for all of our supporters, including, and I apologize, I don't remember your name, but the fellow from New Zealand, thank you. Thank you so much. The fact that we hit New Zealand, thank you. And John's not even paying attention again. He's so fired.
I thought you were wrapping it up. Is the show over?
Is it over? We probably should be. We're like We're like an hour and a half in.
Shout out to whoever wrote the opening theme song to Silverhawks. That thing slaps so hard. I don't know what they were paying you, but you did not have to go that hard on the Silverhawks theme. Go listen to it after this and tell me that guitar solo does not rip. It's a weird show, but the theme song kicks butt.
It's not any weirder than the Thundercats or anything else in that era.
Yeah, it's weird in its own way.
Well, we went through a lot of toys today, and thanks for hanging.
Yeah, I am out of toys to talk about.
Strangely, we're not, but we're saying that for another episode. So, I'm Kohan.
I'm John.
And we bought toys today. And
who are you going to do the exit thing? Okay, you go ahead.
I'm Kohan.
I'm John.
And we bought toys today, and who knows what we'll do tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.